Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of ESPN FC. Happy Halloween! Go on, Craig.
All right, no, at least Stevie and I have made an effort.
Yeah. This is just me every day giving the crazy clown vibes. Won't be the first time anyone's called me that.
When I walked in, he was already in. I busted the door open and I looked at you and went, oh my God.
You did. And what did you say? I hate Halloween.
Yeah, to be.
This is actually Stevie Nichol's jacket, and it just brought the perfect crazy clown vibes for me. Didn't you say it suited me?
I was being polite.
Well, let's welcome in a certain Frank Leboeuf, or at least I think it's Frank.
Oh, God's sake.
Or at least I think it's Frank Leboeuf.
Hold on, people are going to turn the TV off.
I love it, Frank, getting into the Halloween spirit.
What's it meant to be?
Hold on, what's
I really did it because of Alexi. You know, I used to do it when I was living in LA. In France, it's becoming a little bit, something. But right now, it's not that huge. But I say for Alexi, and just to see Craig's face right now, I just did it for that.
You made Craig smile.
Yeah, no, I'm not being funny.
What is he though?
Well, I mean, the word that he is, I cannot use. But I will say this, Frank. That's grown on me. I think it suits you.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, particularly the nose ring coming out, that kind of jibe.
Yeah, you see that?
The meat chops.
Oh yes, it's nice, and the tattoo for my mom. That's really
I
nice.
love that.
It's
kind of giving WWE wrestler. Frank, was that your inspiration?
Yeah, from the 90s.
No, it's giving out what's in Frank's mind.
Yeah. It's giving Tiger King. Look at that.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God. Oh my God.
Can barely tell the difference.
Not too far.
Not too far. He's just missing the nose ring.
Come on, guys.
Yay! I love that. I love that. Frank getting in on the Halloween spirit. We're going to try and bring it for the rest of the show.
I'm going to promise you, I'm going to try to be serious during the show and give good analysis.
That'll make a change, won't it?
I mean, when I woke up this morning, I didn't envisage Frank's armpits being on ESPN FC.
They're quite smooth, aren't they? The big one in the Premier League this weekend, it's a mighty battle between 7th and 8th. Liverpool up against Aston Villa. Liverpool's 6 losses in their last 7 games, most recently to Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Well, Arne Slot spoke ahead of the Villa clash. Let's hear what he had to say.
I'm completely happy with the team, with all the quality we have, and I'm also completely convinced by the strategy and the policy we have. Maybe last season we were more lucky, or now we're a bit more unlucky. Again, no excuses for our results before people are going to say this again. But we had to play a lot of away games with only 2 days rest in between, and that would have been a difficult schedule for every player last season. And I mean a player that has been fit throughout pre-season, throughout the whole season, but that has not been our situation. The thing that gives me the most confidence is the quality of the players we are having. So, the amount of chances these players are still creating. So this will eventually always lead to these players scoring more goals than we've done till now. And we have to address certain other things. But yeah, if I talk about that, if I'm speaking about what we have to improve, people then tell me I'm using excuses. So maybe it's better now just to say we need to address certain things to do better.
All right, not quite the face of a man who's lost 6 in the last 7, but Stevie, Arne Slot, they're just doubling down on the fact that he's happy with his players, he's happy with his strategy. What do you make of it?
I couldn't really figure out what he was on about. It didn't seem like particularly forceful on anything. He was kind of fudging it a little bit, just throwing all kinds of different things in. For a guy who...
Does that worry you now?
Well, for a guy who last year absolutely 100%, when he sat in front of a microphone or sat in front of the press, talked sense, was clear, you were in no clue what he was talking about. I've sat and listened to that, and I really don't know what his point was. He kind of covered 4, 5, 6 different things a little bit, but none of them were particularly forceful, as if he actually believed what he was saying. So, yeah, don't talk. If you don't have anything strong or correct to say, don't say anything. Just keep it short and simple and get out.
I think he was batting away some of the stuff that has been coming his way. And one of the things he mentioned was strategy. And that's not necessarily his strategy. I think that's a generic club strategy in transfers. You know, people have said, did you need to bring in the 2 strikers? And Isak, which was quite late, and Hugo Ekitike, which was a little earlier. And the Mark Guehi deal fell through on the last day. And I think people have been pointing to the strategy, and I think he was trying to answer that and say, no, I'm okay with the strategy. The other thing was, when you look at, now a lot of the departures, I mean, there's a lot more departures, but a lot of them are players that weren't really going to play, if we're being honest about it. Some of them are obviously players that would have featured, most of them from the bench, like Harvey Elliott and 1 or 2 others. I think what he's saying is, if you look at the Liverpool team on paper and you put the team down, you would be very happy and go, wow, that's a good side. Yep. That's a good squad. Now, I think that's what he's trying to say. What he's not been able to sort of articulate or get over onto the field this season is the performance. You know, if you were offered Mo Salah and the 2 strikers and Virgil van Dijk and Konate as a partnership, and if you were offered in the summer Milos Kerkez, because Stevie talked about him last year, I really liked him. You know, most people liked him. Yep. There was a lot of suitors. But if you were offered these players, you would have taken them. The problem is, there's a lot of them out of form. There's a lot of them short of confidence. And he, the manager that is, I get a feeling he sat with his coaching team, moving the little pieces of the jigsaw and the chessboard around. What do you think about that? What do you think about Alexander-Arnold? What do you think about, Andy Robertson at left back, which is Stevie thinks might happen this
So you
weekend.
think he doesn't know exactly what his best 11 is for this Villa game?
And I think that's where the manager is. And I think we all agree, I think it's been a mistake not to play Ekitike in a couple of the big games. And in some sense, I'm a little disappointed if Isak isn't available, which I don't think he is, because I would have liked to have seen what that decision was going to be.
Can I just... that question of, do you think he knows what his best 11 is? I think before the ball was kicked in anger, he had a good idea of what his best 11 would be. But I think, and I know I'm sticking up for Arne Slot all the time, but quite honestly, if you are the manager of Liverpool, how are you supposed to pick your best 11 when you don't have 11? When you've only got a couple that are actually, you know, both individually and in, you know, partnerships. Salah and if it's Salah and Bradley tomorrow, you know, they've played together this season already. They look as though they've never played together. That's not the case. Last year they were great together. You know, Gakpo and Robertson last year played together. They were great together. Now this year they haven't really played together, but there's no guarantee that they would. McAllister, Gravenberg and Szoboszlai are about as close in terms of playing together as anywhere on the field. But even they haven't been great. And of course, in my opinion, one of the most important partnerships in any team is the centre-back partnership, and Van Dijk and Konate, compared to last year, have been absolutely awful. So, you know what? It's tough being Arne Slot right now, because trying to figure out your best 11 when nobody's actually kicking the ball properly is really tough.
Be even tougher after these 3 games.
Yeah.
Villa, Real Madrid, Man City. It's almost like he's picking the least out-of-form players at the moment, but he's going to have to.
Where'd you Tom?
Going to have to figure this out at the weekend.
Well, let's go to Frank now, because we definitely want to continue looking at his brilliant costume. But Frank, what do you make about what the boys have to say?
I agree with the boys, and I especially agree with what Stevie just said, you know, about the fact that he hasn't got the best personals right now, and if he knows what his best 11 would be, he cannot count on it, because they're not good enough and they're only the shadow on themselves. But, you know, television exists, so if we're not at Anfield Road, we can see the games, and he doesn't need to go into that fake optimism, trying to explain that he's happy. He cannot be happy with what he sees. He cannot be fully happy because of what the players are showing. So we see it as a shamble right now. We know that they can improve. We know that some players will going to get better, and Liverpool, of course, will try to fight for the title. But right now, again, we only see the shadow of the players, and you don't need to lie to us. I mean, who do you try to persuade? Nobody. Just say what you see, because we're going to agree with you. I'm not happy. Some players are injured. Others are only at their 10% of their level. So what do you want me to do? I try my best. I do my best. I try to support the players, but something is wrong right now. And I really hope with the players and all the squad, I'm going to work very hard to make sure that Liverpool goes back to its best. But don't lie to people. I mean, it's useless. I don't know what's wrong with those coaches who thinks that we don't see, that we are blind, and we don't see what we see on the field.
Looking at Liverpool,
I hope people actually watch the start of this show. And don't just nobody's just sort of flicked on now, and Frank's there with like a nose piece.
And Frank's speaking so passionately and seriously.
It's me, guys. It's me. In case you don't recognize, it's me.
There's our favorite.
Oh my God, they're letting anybody on this show now. Was that your projected 11 for Liverpool, or was that just one?
Because it's what I think he should probably play. I think the fact that other than Robertson, everybody else has had a week off. And again, part of the interview we didn't see on there was him complaining about how they've played so many games and all the injury and this whole thing. So,
and no Wirtz again, which seems like we're not even batting an eyelid here, and he was a gazillion pounds.
Yeah.
Dollars, whatever you want to do.
You can't afford to gamble on Wirtz. Right now he's gambling on a lot of players, particularly Salah, who's produced absolutely nothing pretty much so far.
Yep.
And so you can't have too many completing out gambles. You need to fill the side with players who you think you're going to get a certain level from. And so that's why I've kind of gone again with the tried and trusted. I've had Robertson in there because Kerkez is doing more damage to the whole team. Not just the fact that him and Van Dijk just have not. They don't understand each other. That would be the best way to put it. So that's why I think get Robertson back in. Him and Van Dijk know each other. They know exactly pretty much what they're going to be about. And more importantly, from Robertson's side, Aston Villa don't have any pace down that side. It'll be John McGinn. And so John McGinn's not running away from anybody, really. So you can play Robertson there. So I've kind of gone with the tried and trusted. They've had a week off, no complaints. Now you have to produce.
Kerkez needs.
This is a huge.
But he needs to be he needs to be taken out, I think, for his own good as well as the team. He's Welsh. Now taking a player out dents your confidence, but continue to put him out there.
And see Van Dijk yelling at him.
And see the struggles and see obviously Van Dijk's been very sort of public on the field about his unhappiness with the positioning and his passing and what Liverpool have tomorrow is a Villa side who have started the season really slowly. They've picked up a head of steam. They don't mind going away and sitting in and being tight and defending, but they're also trying to play out from the back. And we know the Liverpool fans, they'll try and push this Liverpool team forward. Yeah. They're desperate to get back on a winning streak. They're desperate for momentum. So when they go and press, if they don't get it right, you saw from those clips here against Man City, Villa will play out from the back. And if they can beat that press and get in behind the midfield, where have Liverpool been weak this year? Middle of the park, back four, that's where Villa will try and get at them.
And it's, you have to realise that when you're going to close that high up the field, everybody has to do it. And I'm not talking about the front three. I'm not just talking about the back three. I'm talking about, more importantly, the two centre-backs have to be on the midfield guys, pushing them forward, letting them know that they're there. Because if they don't they can't push in if they're worried about what's going on behind them. And so the two again, it's not just about defending if you're one of the centre-backs. It's about talking. It's about pushing the three in front of you to go and close it properly, knowing that if the ball eventually gets behind them, you're right up behind them as well, instead of those huge big holes that Craig was talking about. So, again, the two centre-backs, the job is not just to defend, the job is to make sure the middle are pushing high up and then getting in good positions also.
Frank, as Craig pointed out, and we just saw there from a couple of those highlights, Aston Villa definitely will be smelling blood in Liverpool's water.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And the expert on that matter. We saw on the 2 clips that you showed against Manchester City that they really mastered the situation, and they can be under big pressure. They keep calm, and they clever on the passes that they have to make, and they go into counter-attack very quickly. It's very impressive. And the clip that we watch about Liverpool playing against Chelsea says it all, and we're in a way that Liverpool doesn't know anymore, or right now, how to work together. So you were talking about Kerkers and the fact that he's not feeling good, that he's maybe not supported, or that maybe he doesn't, Van Dijk doesn't understand him. Yes, that's clear, but it's also about everybody, and it's like a domino things that where something doesn't go right, but nothing is there to compensate or to help out. Before you had Gravenberch and McAllister working. If somebody was going on the side at front, somebody was covering and making sure that in case of counterattack they were there. So everything was put on very, very nicely, which is not the case right now. And you had the same with Anderson at the time, where in 2020, Liverpool was the best team in the world. And then they lost it, that they got it back with Gravenberch last year and McAllister and the year before, but now they don't have it. So because everybody is independent from each other, it's becoming very complicated.
All right, well, let's have a look at the predictions that everyone gave for this matchup now. And I believe I'm the only one that actually went for a result, did not sit on the fence. I've gone for a 2-1 Aston Villa win. Everyone else went for a draw. Stevie, it's not a loss for Liverpool, but again, not a win for your boys. You've been broken. I've never seen you this down and pessimistic about them.
I can't justify why I think Liverpool are going to beat
Even
Aston
at
Villa.
home at Anfield.
Yes. There is nothing, you know, we can't just pick scores and opinions out of fresh air.
Yeah.
Fantasyland, what we want to see and what's going to happen and dreams and... Ooh. You got to... Reality has hit Liverpool. And reality is that getting a point at Anfield against Villa might help towards turning the corner. And again, for me, it's really about how Liverpool play, to be quite honest. If Liverpool were lights out, creating chances, goalkeeper stands on his head, people are missing from 2 yards, and they lose 1-0, in some ways I'll be like, you know what? Now I think we're seeing something. So yes, of course I want them to win, but it's about the performance. And the truth is, with the ability they've got, if they do give a performance, then you should win the game. But I cannot sit here and tell you that performance is going to come against Aston Villa. I just can't.
Manager doesn't know either, does he?
No.
That's the... No.
Our boy's broken, Craig.
No, he's all right.
Oh, okay.
He's been broken for a while.
But that has nothing to do with Liverpool.
Life.
That's just life. Life broke Stevie. He's a strong Scotsman, though, I believe. Coming up this weekend is a nice little London derby. North up against West as Spurs host Chelsea. If you have a look at the recent results between these two, Chelsea have won 4 in a row. Chelsea actually have only lost once against Spurs in their last 12 games. Now, Craig, I feel like these stats are showing a more dominant Chelsea than the Chelsea we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and they're a little bit inconsistent as well. And, you know, part of that was the Ange Postecoglou era where, quite frankly, in terms of team shape, it was a shambles. Yeah. Was it one of the games, did it not go down to 9 men and they're still trying to play this high line?
Yep.
I mean, it was just bonkers. So there's although Spurs have got a raft of injuries, which we know about, what they do have is a manager who's trying to find that balance between, you know, the entertainment side and the defensive structure. And I think they've been better defensively. They've not necessarily got the attacking side of it right. Maybe that's a personnel thing with where the likes of Xabi Simons and Richarlison and others, you know, Brennan Johnson, a few of them struggled. But I just feel it could be closer this time because of Thomas Frank's organisational skills and what he brings, what he brought to Brentford and what he's brought early on to this Tottenham side. I'm still waiting for this Tottenham side to excite me going forward. They've been okay. I think the big plus for them has been João Paulinho. I think he's a really good player, you know, to come in there and protect the back four. But once he's done that, and once him and Bentancur or whoever it is have got this good shape, it's who else is going to go and be the creator. Yep. So I've gone for a tight one in this one. Because, again, Chelsea, they can be really, really good, or you just don't know what you're going to get from them.
Frank, exactly what Craig says. We really sometimes just don't know what we're going to get from Chelsea. What version of Chelsea do you think we're going to get in this game?
Well, I want to believe that we kind of, or Chelsea is kind of the black cats of Spurs. You know, during my time and Craig's time, I think we beat for. I think we haven't lost against Spurs for 20 years, something like that. And we can see on the last 4 games, you know, it's hard for Spurs to have a result against Chelsea. I want to believe that it's going to carry on. Yes. There is no certainties because of Chelsea inconsistency, and because Thomas Frank, I think he's kind of an expert and doing and making sure that Spurs plays better than the previous years. So it's going to be tight. I saw Chelsea winning it away from home because I want to believe that history will again carry on between Spurs and Chelsea for the good of the Blues. But nothing is sure. I mean, yes, it's going to be tough. We even saw that on the Carabao Cup where Chelsea were dominant, but it's only be at the end of the game that they got it through. So, but yeah, let's see what is going to happen. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be an offensive game. It's going to be very attractive and entertaining. But the result is my result, but it's not any certainty again.
Well, Chelsea, no doubt, still missing their X factor, Craig. That is Cole Palmer. In the meantime, what does Enzo Maresca need to figure out about finding that right balance with his current attackers?
Good question.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. I mean, 2 of those losses, he was ill-disciplined with Brighton and Man United. The Sunderland game, it was sort of backs to the wall stuff for Sunderland, Stevie, wasn't it? And then they got undone.
Yeah, I mean, it was a smash and grab, let's be honest.
You know, Neto's look sharp. You know, João Pedro's a good player. They clearly haven't got the number 10. They've got to get the balance right in the middle of the park. What they did against Liverpool, we said it at the time. What Chelsea did in that Liverpool game, and they clearly haven't been able to do this, if they had been able to bottle that and run with it, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose. You're going to win more often than not because that was a really good performance, and maybe some of it was down to the way Liverpool are playing. But they've not been able to sort of take that forward and go with it. And you can see the change. Garnacho has come into the side. You know, there's been these changes. You know, you mentioned there's no Cole Palmer. They had the sendings off. There's been changes at the back. So there seems to be an inconsistency within team selection, and I certainly don't think that helps.
I don't understand why he doesn't play Esteval from the start. I really don't. I would switch Net. You're talking about how do Chelsea take the step forward. Well, how about you play Neto on the left, you play Esteval, and then you play João Pedro? I mean, and then you've got Caicedo and Fernandes behind that. I mean, that's a great weapon there, the 5 of them. So why don't you do that? I mean, they're playing against Spurs, who Craig said, going forward, you don't trust any of the forwards. Who's going to score the goals? But that 5 that I've just mentioned, they're capable of beating anybody. So, Craig, I think the manager's got to pick the right team.
I don't know about you. I mean, yeah, he'll do some good things now. I'm not Garnacho's biggest. I'm far from his biggest fan.
No. Just overall, or within this Chelsea setup?
In general, and I don't mean his attitude, behaviour, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Man United didn't want him in the end. You could say that was the manager, and he didn't want quite a few players. But I think he'll flatter to deceive. You know, he'll pop up with this. Remember the overhead kick at Everton a couple of years ago? He'll do something spectacular, and then he'll do nothing again of anything of any note for a long period. I just don't think he's got any consistency, and I think he's the type of player that will get you the sack. So as Stevie said, I think he's going to have to figure something else out.
He had a Monumry come off the other day as well.
Yeah.
Come on, attitude.
Oh, you're not.
We've had enough of that this week.
Yeah, we've had it, and maybe talking a little bit about that. We'll see.
Nope.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's have a look at the predictions for this one. I've gone with a 2-2 draw. So has Craig. Frank going with a Chelsea win as a former Blue himself, and Stevie going as well with a Chelsea win. All right, well, this is what's being said in the Spanish newspapers.
What did I just tell you?
Quiero pedir disculpas, talking about Vini Jr. wanting to apologize, and plan de paz, a peaceful plan or a plan for peace. That is exactly what they are saying. Xabi Alonso had to speak about the Vini Jr. saga in his presser ahead of their La Liga action this weekend. This is what he had to say.
Para mí fue un comunicado muy valioso, muy positivo, en el que Vini demostró la honestidad. Él habló desde el corazón, lo que significa este club y lo que quiere dar. Y para mí lo más importante es lo que dijo a sus compañeros, a la afición, al club. Y para mí yo me quedé muy satisfecho, como te he dicho antes, y desde el miércoles se cerró el tema. Ninguna represalia.
Right, case closed, no punishment. We learned earlier this week that Real Madrid were not going to punish Vini Jr. for what we saw during El Clasico. We thought, and Stevie, you said earlier this week that the manager has has to do something.
Bad move.
And now that he says he's not doing it, do you agree with him?
No, bad move. It's going to bite him. Completely the wrong move. Somebody steps out of line like that, you have to discipline them in some way. And in Vinny's case, the only way you really hurt Vinny is not by fining him or anything like that. It's by not playing him, because that's why he's going crazy, because he's not getting the time on the field. Now, if I'm the coach and somebody steps out of line for the first time, I'll accept the apology to the team, because it's the first time. I'm not going to do it again. It was one of those moments, a rush of blood, whatever.
But he didn't even mention the manager in that apology.
Of course he doesn't, because he's not interested. This is apology. This guy's already apologised previously. This guy's already done the same thing previously. But yet you're going to let him away with an apology? No, I'm sorry, no.
He hasn't apologised to the team. He hasn't apologised to Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
And we did a bit of this yesterday. Did a bit of this Sunday. Did a bit of this Tuesday.
And you probably will have to when Real Madrid play this weekend.
Did a bit of this yesterday, a lot of this yesterday, doing a bit of it today. I think we should be disciplined. I think today's producer should be taken off the show next week. Well, I'm not here, I don't care. But, for bringing it up again. But what happened yesterday, we got Gustavo Hoffmann back on again. And he said the reason he's not apologised directly to the manager is because he believes, Vinicius Jr., rightly or wrongly, that there are other players who may follow. There are other players who are not happy with the methods. How many times do we hear that? And
I do love that word.
Yeah, and we discussed it yesterday. And I said, look, well, how about the method that's got you a classical win that you didn't get last year? How about the method that's got you to the top of the league? How about the method that got Bayer Leverkusen their first ever title in Germany, which they did under Xabi Alonso? Is he going to throw all that out the window for a bunch of babies? And there might not all be babies, but he's the biggest one, isn't he, Vinicius Jr.? He's a great talent, don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. You love watching him. He'll do some brilliant things, but he's a gigantic baby. The Ballon d'Or was absolute proof of that. And Real Madrid, by the way, as a club, were not far behind. So if there is some mini mutiny behind the scenes and Vinicius Jr. thinks he's got a bunch of followers coming his way, then maybe for Xabi Alonso, when they get the odd bad result, that's going to be a problem.
Yep.
But maybe these followers that Vinicius Jr. thinks and his mates and his teammates, maybe they won't come. Maybe they won't follow him to this promised land of, going against the manager, because they'll see the results. They'll see they're getting game time. And it just all feels needless. It really does. I mean, this should have been dealt with
properly.
By Monday morning last week after that classical win. This should have been absolutely done with. He should have been in the manager's office. He should have been given a dressing down. A statement should have come out, moved on. But what we had, according to Gustavo yesterday, was Vinicius' team.
Yeah.
Unhappy with his amount of minutes he's getting. I mean, come on. Yeah. There is bad decisions from the player in terms of the off-field stuff. But when you're listening to bad management and bad advice, that makes you double down, and that's what he's doing.
Frank, what do you make of how this has all panned out and Xabi's decision to not punish Vini Jr. at all?
I'm against, and for the same reason that the guys, you have to put your foot down and explain to the guys, that I'm the boss, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I don't care about your apologies. Good for the teammates, but me, I have a job, and my job is to be above you and to make sure all the squad is happy. And if the squad is happy, is when I decide to substitute you, you shouldn't send the message that you shouldn't go out because you're better than anybody else. You're not better than anybody else, because on that situation I needed some fresh players to keep the result, maybe to score another goal. There is a reason why I do that. I don't do that to punish you. I do that for the squad. And nobody is bigger than the club. Nobody is bigger as a player than the coach. The coach has to be respected. And if the result don't go, don't worry. The coach will be the first to go, because it's hard to get out of 30 players instead of one coach. So that's not a problem. So I think Xabi Alonso, for his own sake, should have put his foot down and say, no, that's not enough. I'm sorry. You're going to be punished. You're going to be on the bench. You know, one time it's a mistake. A second time it's a stupidity. And I want you to know how to stop that and how to think that you're better or above everybody else. And he didn't do that. So what the others going to do? I think Stevie alluded it the last time I was in the show. They say, well, you know, he didn't do that for Stevie. It's for Vini. I'm going to do the same and show to the world that I'm above the coach.
But if the result goes the way we think it will, it's Valencia, the third bottom of La Liga, they're struggling. To be honest, I'd sit him on the bench at best, and I wouldn't bring him on. I'd just leave him there. Particularly if they go 2 or 3 up, I'd leave him. Then the big question will be, for Xabi Alonso and even in Vinicius Jr.'s mind, is that Liverpool game, which is a Champions League game.
Yep.
Now that's the crux of this is he's put his manager in a position, because what if they were playing Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby, which they've already played this season and lost. But what if that was the game upcoming this week? What if it was Espanyol who are flying? What if it was Villarreal that are flying? What if it was a game against one of the real top teams in Spain that was going to be one of the defining games of the season? What would Alonso's decision have to be because of Vinicius' lack of actions or lack of responsibility being taken towards his manager? The fact that Valencia has kind of fallen on Alonso's lap in a sense, because had it been a game of a much bigger magnitude, and I say that with all respect because you can lose against weaker teams, but it just makes it a little easier, I would imagine, to make a stance. But I get the feeling this is not the last time we'll be having this conversation.
Alonso has absolutely lost the opportunity to stamp his authority. 100%. 100%. You know, he probably wouldn't. There's a chance he probably wouldn't have played Vini in this game to save him for Liverpool. And if that's the case, then you be smart and you tell everybody he will not play against Valencia, because you know he's not playing anyway, but nobody else knows that. And then you look smart, but you've made a statement. This whole no punishment, doing nothing, has done nothing but just leave the whole thing in the middle of the clouds, because nobody knows now. And Alonso, for me, is a big loser. He's made no statement whatsoever. And regardless of whether Vini plays against Valencia or not, he's lost the opportunity to stamp that authority.
Welcome to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Well, from a negative at Real Madrid to a positive at Real Madrid, and that is this man right here, Kylian Mbappe. He won the European Golden Boot. He got one of many trophies I'm sure he's going to add to his cabinet after scoring 31 goals last season.
TV.
That was truly one of the best pieces of TV we have ever produced here at ESPN. Here's a look at the standings over in the Netherlands. Feyenoord dropping to second only just for the night. They play tomorrow on ESPN Plus, 3 p.m. Eastern time against Volendam, so tune in. Well, because Ricardo Pepi scored, you know that they're going to talk about it on Football Americas on Monday. But we were in action yesterday. A fresh episode is out. I was Wednesday Adams. Kirk was Jack Skellington. And Shaka is just wearing the hat that I picked up from the calf. He was like a Hades, an Ajax supporting Hades.
So we still get extra for doing that.
Yes. All right, well, that's it for the show, but Extra Time is next, where we get a little spookier.
God. Good Lord.
Oh, happy Halloween, everyone, once again, and welcome into Extra Time.
There's a good thing. You know, I get this thing with
you
kids.
do it very well.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
I just let the dogs out. 3 of them.
When trick-or-treaters come to your house?
So you're the answer to that question.
In the driveway.
So that the trick-or-treaters don't come to your house?
Correct.
Craig sets his dogs on
I
trick-or-treaters.
just...
Hey, the wee one.
It's important to say he has really cute dogs. They're like Labradoodle, golden doodles, aren't
The
they?
wee
They're
one
not
will
like
scare them away,
Dobermans.
don't worry.
Well, to be fair, I have got a rescue.
Oh, Papa.
And he...
Yeah, you only say that, and he's doing your
Well done.
ankles barking at you.
He's got, well, he's perfect for the kids coming to the door because, I mean this in all sincerity, he's got big teeth and one eye. He's got an eye missing because he had to have it taken out. I had to have it removed, which I did myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it at home, did a DIY job. So he's
Handy around the house.
he's got one eye and big teeth. That's enough to keep the kids away, I'll
Craig
tell
Burley,
you.
Heart of Gold animal rescuer. You have gone up in my estimation.
Well,
Oh, we could get you to stand on the front
Well,
step and
I
scare
think-
them away.
I know. I might. You could just put me in
didn't
front
go
of
up
your
in
house
my...
today.
I wasn't much of an animal rescuer when it was $3,000 to have his eye taken out.
Jeez.
Yeah, and all
Yeah.
this stuff.
That's it. All right, let's get into it. First question now. Happy Halloween. Which club has been the biggest treat? Likewise, which club has been the biggest trick? I think we already know the biggest trick already.
The biggest treat would be, I think Bournemouth have been a big treat
Yeah.
this year. Bear in mind they sold Huijsen, Zabanya. I always get this name wrong. Zabanya?
Wrong too.
Frank Zabanya?
Yep.
PSG. Zabanya.
Yeah.
And Kirkes. But they're still going. Shouldn't even have gone down that road, should they? No.
Oh yeah.
I suppose you could say them and Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
In England
definitely.
anyway.
Yeah.
Barcelona,
Have been the biggest trick? It's a trick we saw coming.
did we?
From last season, we knew that Highline was gonna get caught out.
Alright.
I suppose Hansi Flick tricked us in the sense that we thought he would definitely address it. But alas.
Trick or treat, Highline or not?
Exactly.
You know what's
CV?
coming.
It's hard to disagree.
Oh.
Hearts,
Hearts in Scotland,
top of the league by 8
Biggest treat?
points.
8 points
Doesn't
ahead,
that bother you a little bit?
No, why would it bother us?
Oh, you're in for the whole Leicester run.
Well, Stevie asked me the other night, and it was a bit of a guess, but it's 40 years since Sir Alex Ferguson had an Aberdeen team that was able to topple the Old Firm. So there's a long, long way to go, but
Makes it
could be this
interesting.
year.
That's been the biggest treat for you
Yeah,
to watch. What
I
about
kinda
biggest
think-
trick?
I mean, Wolves. But
You know they gave him a new contract after the bad start to the season, and now they're talking about sacking him. Peter Pereira. Those days of going to the pub after the game, which he was doing. Last year he was going to the pub and having a drink with the fans because I'm telling you, he ain't doing that this year because he's going straight out the window.
Hey, if they pay him up, he can go every day of the week.
There you go. Frank, what about you? Biggest trick and biggest treat?
Biggest treat will be Strasbourg. Very impressed the way they play. The second or third in the league, one. And they drew against Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc des Princes, and that was a hell of a game. That was a great game with very good players involved. So I enjoy watching Strasbourg right now. And the biggest trick, it's hard for me, but I would say Wolverhampton. I didn't expect them to be so low and promise to, for me, the relegation.
Aren't Marseille top of the league, Frank?
Not really. I think Paris came back. Marseille drew against Angers in the midweek, and I think lost the game last. Well, no, I think they're second. They're second. Third is Strasbourg. Monaco is first, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Apparently they're third,
His
Monaco's
his
second.
nose ring's falling out.
It's a big treat.
Oh, is it falling out? Frank, is that a real nose ring?
Yes, yeah. No, that's a fake one, you know, and the tattoo is fake too. But my wife enjoyed doing it. She was, I was like a little puppet. She made some makeup. She was on. She was very happy.
Who's he supposed
Have
to
you seen
be?
my necklace? Very nice necklace.
Who are you
That's
supposed to
very
be?
nice necklace.
Who are you supposed to?
Frank, I love it.
I don't know. I'm somebody obviously completely crazy, stupid, and
Yeah, but that's normal.
happy to be.
That's normal for all of us, just like me, being a clown.
But at what point, all right, he's done all the work. He's got the tattoo from the other half. He's done all the hair. He's got the hat. He's got this ludicrous vest. He's got the vest. At what point do you go, what would finish this off is a nose ring?
I think the nose ring brings everything together. He's giving like hard.
No, you know what? You know what? Because my name is Leboeuf, meaning the beef, and you know.
You're like a bull.
The cows and the beef, they have this, you know, like a bull.
Okay.
You know, that's the little family touch, I would say.
I love
with
that.
The mom.
A lot of thought went into that. I really love that. I love when everyone goes deep for Halloween.
More thought went into that than the show.
Next question is actually for you, Craig.
Oh, God.
Burley. Ooh. Last name basis. Do you take your teeth out and scare the trick-or-treaters? No, you just send your dogs.
My God.
Well, they're cemented in now, aren't they?
Oh, they're well cemented in.
I was going to say, I don't think they're not removable.
No.
He paid the big bucks so that they stay in.
Well, they are removable. A good right-hander.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
We
only
can
way.
remove all our teeth.
And apparently there is a very long queue of people that would like to do that.
You know what? I'm gonna be a little bit serious about that. You know, when people they make fun of me, for example, not having hair, and Craig not having teeth.
I've got
it's
teeth.
like, you know, insulting somebody. No, you got teeth, but you were missing when you were playing.
Have you got a car?
Yeah, I got a car.
Is it your car?
I got two.
Yeah, well, you got two cars. Are they both yours? Yeah, because you paid for them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
His teeth are his own. He paid for them.
not them all.
Well, you know, I tried to defend you because when you were playing, you know, you were not wearing teeth where we were playing because you were, you know, afraid of losing, and I don't know what it was.
Dentures.
But whatever. But you know what? It was saying that for my hair, for example, people teasing me. I'm okay with that, but it's like it's kind of a trauma for me. It's like, you know, insulting somebody being fat or being too skinny. I don't like it.
Would you call me?
I smile about it, but I don't like it.
It's a vulnerable spot.
And people.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's okay because we are men.
Craig, should we stop teasing
what's
about
it?
your teeth?
What's traumatic about?
What's he turned into?
He's
I'm not even going to go down that road because it's a very, you know, that's a dicey road at the moment. But
What happened to this? Oh, everybody loves.
Now people think that they have the right.
And they can rub your bald head.
But I wasn't
it's cool
fashion
and-
in the 90s. No, but when I shaved my head, it wasn't fashion, and you had to be a skinhead or a Buddhist in order to get to shave your head. My father thought I had a leukemia. And he said, no, you let it grow. You know, you have a leukemia, you're teasing me. So that wasn't fashion. I was the first guy in France who allowed myself to shave my head. And after Gianluca Vialli, when I came to London, we shaved my head. But that was special. My brother was a commercial, and he didn't shave his head before the year 2000, 2001, because his boss didn't want that.
So,
that was something for the man.
So what you're saying is, it doesn't bother you now much, but it did bother you at the time, right?
Exactly, because you look older when we know that in football at 30 years old you're already old. We hear that at 30 years old you're old because you are at the end of your career, and at 23 I look like being 30, and
you look 70 now.
that was a kind of a trauma. Yeah, but a good one.
Well, listen,
a good 70.
I've got another question for you. How did you manage to finagle a question about my teeth round to being about you?
You're baldy head.
No, because I agree. Now, because sometimes what I say, Craig, is people they have easy fun with others, and
they're bullies,
and they make fun of people, and sometimes you have to calm down a little bit, you know, because it's personal problems, and calm down. You know, you can make a joke once, twice, thrice is a little bit too much.
Anybody can make fun of us, me and him, we don't care. But you know, the thing is that when I was 17 when my teeth got knocked out, but you know, you could have them, you know, these days you would have the implants put in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when this happened, it was 89, 90, you know, so you could have them fixed then, but at that point, you know, particularly the way the game was played at that era.
Yeah, they just get knocked out again.
You're going to get
Yeah.
you know, there's punches. There was no VAR. There was less
Get the
cameras. There
elbow.
was elbows and fighting, and so you know
I
you.
lost mine and all.
So
I've got falsies.
I waited till
Yeah.
I waited till I
I get mine
finished.
knocked out as well. Everybody gets their teeth knocked out playing. You've got to
game's
wait till
on.
you finish, because if you get them done, they'll just get knocked out again.
Yeah,
So
fair.
you wait till you're done, so you just get falsies.
And you get the Roberto Firmino.
You get,
Love that.
yeah.
But I have noticed a lot of people
Get the paint
have
out.
gone to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not him, he's gone there, he's left. A lot of these people like Firmino, Klopp, I think maybe Brendan Rodgers before. And
Oh
there's-
my gosh,
there's
yes,
one or
it's
two
too
more. They
white.
go to this dentist. I don't know if it's a job lot. but they
Magalhães as well.
They get a deal where they go there and they say, give me the most ridiculous white teeth you've ever seen.
Big
in
and
your life."
white.
Big and white, so that when I smile, you go, false as hell. Not even try to blend it in.
No.
Well,
Jurgen Klopp, oh my God. You could put his teeth in a horse.
honestly.
Holy
On that
shit.
note.
Yeah, Firmino as well.
Next-
That's too much, yeah.
Next question now. This one's for Stevie. Stevie, how unbearable is it to watch Liverpool on the downhill while Manchester United is on the upswing, especially sitting next to a fan like Alexis? Have I made life unbearable for you, Stevie?
Signed by Alexis.
No,
that's
you've
signed
done
by
me
Alexis.
any more
That's
unbearable than I
Alexis'
make
message.
it for myself.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remind yourself constantly how terrible you guys are at the moment?
Well, whenever it comes up, yeah. Well, you know what it's like. I mean, you
No, I
should come
definitely
to you.
know what it's like.
I should have come to you for help because you've got so much experience. I'm feeling like this
being
over the
toilet.
last, what, 10 years, 15
Oh, a
years?
bit longer than that.
So I can't believe I never called. The first call I should have made was to you.
I know.
That's
I
what I should've
message you
done.
every time Liverpool lose, and I just give you the eyes, and I say, "Are you okay, Stevie?" And then you just hit me back with an emoji that we're not going to share
No.
on television right now. But I just wanted to say that as we were talking about shared trauma with Frank, we've shared trauma, and we can find support in one another. I could keep a straight face saying that.
Oh my God.
Next
Oh my
question.
God.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Any paranormal encounters or instances where you guys thought it was, but it turned out to be something else? Did you guys have any ghost stories that ended up maybe just being your missus or your dog just walking through the house late at night? Come on, Stevie, I feel like you have one.
Oh, the problem is, we stayed in a rented place in Sheffield,
Oh, here we go.
and there was one night I swore at the time I saw a little girl at the bottom of the stair, standing in front of the spare room.
I would have run.
Too many beers again.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is, I had a few beers.
Oh, okay.
I really don't know whether it was just the beer or whether
Or
it
an
actually
actual
happened.
ghost. Did you say something?
I'll
I
hazard
said,
the
I said to Elma,
I'll hazard the guess.
I'm going to say it was a ghost. Sheffield has a lot of ghost stories. Sheffield, well, and Derby, I've learned.
Huh?
They have a lot of ghost tours. The
Oh,
most
really?
ghost stories per square
Derby?
mile. Yeah.
where did you find this out? How
I
did-
did a few of them. There's a lot. I tell you, haunted stuff is my thing. Frank, what
Maybe it
about
wasn't
you?
the beer then.
I feel like you.
And
maybe
I
it
wonder
wasn't
why. I'm not even going to say it.
I went to Scotland once, and I went to an hotel in Loch Lomond, and supposedly the lady at the counter said, "You know what? The room number 10 is haunted." And I said, "Okay, I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna get the next room." And I spent the all night long, trying to see if a ghost will appear. I didn't see anything. I was so
Oh.
disappointed. It's like the Loch Ness, but never seen it.
Frank, do you believe in ghosts?
Not really, but you know what? When my father died, and he was young when he died, I really hope that he will give me a sign. I was expecting something, nothing came up, but I was ready to believe in it. My wife, she believes, sometimes she's a sign. Oh, I have a sign from my grandmother. Her grandmother died like at 101 years old, 2 years ago. And every time something happens, she says, "Oh, it's my grandmother." She says hi. I love that. I love the fact that she believes it, and she believes that's a sign. Maybe it is, but we don't have any confirmation so far.
Your father would be really proud the way you're dressed tonight.
yeah, he would have loved it. Yeah, he would have loved it.
Oh, okay.
I sent a picture to my mother, and I say, Mom, what do you think about that? I say, well, you know what? I think I wouldn't have recognized you if I would have come across you. But I say, Mom, and my two brothers say, yeah, it's why you are the favorite son. It's because you have that tattoo. It's a fake one.
Might as well get a real one.
Frank, your dad used to wear a bull ring
No.
on his nose.
Oh. I'm really keen to hear more about Stevie's ghost story with the little girl, but we'll get to that after the show. Final question. Who is the ESPN FC member most likely to dress in something silly on Halloween, besides me, Craig? Because I know you're going... I know.
Yeah, look, we don't have one, we got two.
We got two, it's just me, and it is Le Beef. I actually think mine's pretty good. Do I look unhinged?
You don't have any mirrors in your house, no?
You've given me so many avenues to
do
answer that question.
Do the laugh for the last time.
I'm giving you the bait,
When
Craig,
you-
and today you're allowed.
When you said they look unhinged, there's various answers, and I'm not going to use any of them.
Oh, it's fine. But I actually think
Do us the laugh. Do us the laugh for the last time.
We're all grown up.
That's very
That's all
nice.
this
we're all grown
That's
ups.
very
I mean, are we? It's all relative. But I actually think another one of our members from the ESPN FC fan is notorious for dressing in a silly costume that I still think he thinks he can fill out quite like a Henry Cavill every single year. These are all different years, different Halloweens, and our Dan Thomas still believes he is Superman.
What about the muscles in that boy? Look at the muscles.
Well, right now he's Superman. I want to send him a kiss. He's Superman right now.
He is Superman right now. Stevie, you saw him recently.
I saw him yesterday.
Oh, he's in good nick.
Yeah, I got to
He was
tell
the
you,
driver.
A couple of times. We got to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
So we're going through the parking lot to park. So we go through, when you get to the hospital, you know the speed bumps? I forgot about Dan's stitches.
Oh no, were you just flying over them like...
Well, he never said, the first time, I didn't realise, but I went over the speed bump, right? And I didn't slow down. And he started sniggering, right?
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
He does.
And he started sniggering, I was like, oh, he's sniggering. And then another one came up and I did the same thing. And then he just turned and looked at me and then I went,
Oh, sorry.
forgot about your 1,000 stitches in your stomach. And he went, yeah, can you calm down? I was like, oh, sorry, Dad.
Oh, Stevie Nicol. Well,
What's your
if anyone
we
needs
got home safely
someone to drive
eventually.
you to doctor's appointments,
Yeah, it's not
Stevie
me.
will
and
get you
what's your professional medical assessment of the liver transplant?
Well, personally, I think it went well. I was a little... The stitches were a little red, but that's calmed down. So
What have you advised?
I recommended to him plenty of sausages and cigarettes.
Oh, as you do.
That's
Good
the
treatment.
key. Plenty of sausages and cigarettes.
All right, well, that's it for this edition of Extra Time. Make sure to tune in to ESPN FC. We'll be back tomorrow, better dressed. I won't be.
Yeah.
I still might be coming as an unhinged clown next week, so look out for that.